Warning, this is about a recent event. I am not going to politicize this. I am not one of those attendings that wants to lecture about politics while on shift. That's not my MO at all. But this is a recent event, and it's hard not to talk about it because I think we need to know. So Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, or however you say that in French, it's an international charity that's, I think, one of the best medical charities out there. They were operating a hospital in northeast Afghanistan, the Kunduz area. There was a bombing that happened on October the 3rd, okay, and it happened at just after 2 in the morning, happened for about an hour. There's a series of airstrikes that happened about every 15 minutes or so from U.S. forces, okay? The official story, and pretty much everyone agrees on this, is that Afghani intelligence told us that there was a bad Taliban member at this location and to bomb them, okay? That is agreed upon universally. So this is the results of that. It was pretty much a devastation of that hospital. And back here is actually that hospital on fire from that bombing. So 22 people died. 12 of them were staff members of this hospital. 10 of them were patients, and 3 of those were children. Okay, 37 people were injured during these bombing attacks. Okay, and that hospital is now closed. And it was the only facility of its kind in that area. This is a picture of them after the bombing trying to operate. It kind of gives you an idea of what this kind of facility was. They're like hanging fluids from a ceiling fan. They're just on a table. There's very few equipment. That's kind of reality in these kind of places. So this raises a lot of questions. What happened out there? So per the charity, they actually notified everyone of where they were with GPS coordinates. This is a routine thing of what they do whenever they're in a conflict zone. They say, look, this is where we are. Please don't bomb us. We're a hospital. Okay, and they did this as recently as 4 days prior to the bombing. So people should have known where they were. I say should have because in any complex system, things can get missed. But they should have known where they were. So the bombing continued for a half hour after distress call where they said, look, we're a hospital, please stop bombing us. It continued for a half hour after that happened. Okay? Per MSF, and I want to really be clear whenever there's any controversy, per MSF, there was no fighting in the area of the hospital. That has not been shown, that no one else has commented on that other than MSF. So there could have been, and we just don't know, okay? But then there were really heart-wrenching tales of what happened after this bombing, where people were actually operating on each other on top of like desks and whatnot, where one staff member was trying to save another one, doing emergency surgeries. It was really a kind of grim scene. So the official American response was that they were operating under the intelligence from Afghanistan saying, hey, there's someone bad there, you should bomb them, and that we were the ones that executed. That's universally agreed upon, okay? And we admit that we were the ones bombing it. Obama actually called the head of MSF and apologized that something bad happened and that we were at least partially at fault for this. These are all undisputed things. Again, I'm not trying to politicize this at all, okay? This is things that everyone agrees on. And that there's an American, NATO, and Afghanistan investigation going into why this happened. So the Geneva Convention forbids attacks on hospitals. Now, we are not a full signatory of all the Geneva Convention. There are parts of it that we've signed on to, parts of it that we have not. But it's pretty much universally agreed upon that you're not supposed to attack hospitals. So what has happened is that there's been a campaign to ask for an independent investigation of what happened, okay? Basically, they want people that weren't involved in it to take a look at what occurred to figure out why it occurred, okay? So here's where it gets tough. The people that they're fighting out there don't follow the rules. And this is one of the asymmetries of warfare, is that terrorists don't follow the Geneva Convention, okay? So they have made a habit of hiding in places that we don't like to bomb, like schools, hospitals, places of worship, and so forth, okay? So I want to be very clear that there's a lot of questions about what the heck happened here. Why was it that they thought that there was someone at this place? Did we know that it was a hospital? No one's really sure yet, okay? So it could be that we were unaware that this was a hospital, bombed it, and were too slow to stop bombing it because we didn't realize our error. That's entirely possible, and no one has actually refuted that story yet. But Afghanistan's government has actually come forward saying that they knew that it was a hospital. It's not clear if that was properly conveyed to the U.S. forces. So why is it that I'm talking about this at all? Because I don't believe in just telling sad stories for no purpose. So a terrible thing happened, okay? I would encourage you to look into it. And if you believe that we should have an independent investigation, sign a petition saying that there should be an independent investigation, okay? If you feel that this is an appropriate group to give money to, do so. And then email your congressman either way that you feel about this, because you should talk to them about this stuff. Any questions? Thanks.